going to ask Vaughan, CEO of FNB Cash Investments, to join the panel, and Johan van der Merwe to give us a latest update on our bank ecosystem. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Vaughan. Take it away.
Schalk, thank you very much. Vaughan, thank you for joining us and making the time to join us.
Thanks, John.
Let's keep the clients guessing a little bit about the way forward. Let's first ask some questions with regards to my good news report. You are surrounded by full-time economists like John Lewis et al. To work with you and to guide you guys as a bank. So I think first question is, how does the bank sees the business sentiment of South Africa and economical future? I mean, you guys are a big business. You work with a lot of entrepreneurs and big business owners. So what is the noise, I want to say, up there?
Johan, thanks. It's amazing to join you and the WeconnectU team. Thank you for having us join you guys on this Engage event. I suppose from an economics update, the view has changed a lot since January this year. I saw your earlier presentation in terms of your presentation that you guys did at the beginning of this year and today where we stand. I think that it's been an amazing turnaround for the positive. I think everything's on totally rosy, of course, but we're starting to see green shoots appear, and that is very important for the banks. So obviously, from a bank's perspective, we look for the numbers to point us in terms of what's going on in the economy. So what the forecasters do, or the economists do, is to provide for scenarios and the outcomes of those scenarios. So we have a base case scenario, which is given what we know and where we think this is going to go. The base case scenario, probability of outcome is at 50%. The bull case scenario is an upside scenario, and that has been revised from a 20% probability to about 25%. And the bear case has been downgraded from 30% to 25%. So all positive, I think, largely if you consider where the indicators are pointing us. But if you consider the base case scenario, this kind of points to GDP growth of around about 1.8% in June 2025, with the rand around about 17.25. So that's continuing with the strengthening of the rand that we've seen at the moment. This is great news for us. I think GDP numbers are we've been dampened, I suppose, over the last 10 years, and it's the 2% or 1.8% is not necessarily at the numbers of the 5% that we were at in the early 2000s, in 2006, etc. But it's certainly a move in the positive, and will certainly give this economy a lift. In the bull case scenario, there's a more upside on that GDP number to about 2%, 2.1% growth. And in that case, further rand strengthening to the 16s to the dollar, which would be amazing. So I think broadly, if you consider base case and bull case scenario, that's a 75% probability of outcome. So we are positive on where this government, this GNU, is going to be taking us. Largely, this is all driven by the reprieve that we've seen in terms of load shedding. A lot of this has been contributed to by the solar panels that you and I, we all have put on our residential, on our homes. And of course, there's large solar installations and renewable installations that have been approved and are being installed across the country. And this continues to lift the country's ability to be able to produce electricity. To produce electricity, this generates obviously large lift for the GDP of the country. Lastly, Johan, just before we move on, but obviously Transnet's recovery plan is in play, and some stats that I saw yesterday was that there's been a 73% reduction in vessels at anchor since November last year. So November last year was where we had all those ships sitting out on Durban Harbour and Cape Town. And obviously Pier 2 in Durban is in plans to be privatized, and that contributes to about 70% of throughput. So these are all positive indicators, and obviously we're hoping for more upside in those GDP numbers. It'll benefit all of us in this property sector.
So Vaughan, you've mentioned everything, but the one thing that the customers want to hear more about from the bank, what is the interest rates doing and where are we heading and why are they so slow?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
just a view, it's kind of common sentiment that because inflation is kind of coming down, interest rate will trickle down. But, are we going to go back to where? Are we going to go back eventually to COVID figures? Are we going to go back to pre-COVID? What is the forecast there and how quickly will it happen? Because I think that impact on the industry is so huge. We need to have a golden glass ball today about the next 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm willing. I'm not too willing to put bets on where the repo rate is going to go. But I think let's start with where it was in COVID. We had a repo rate of 3.5% in COVID, which was the lowest it's been in, I think, in my memory, certainly. It was amazing, obviously, for the property industry to have a lending rate at that rate. We stand at 8% today with the 25 pip cut that we had in September. FirstRand's house views that we're going to have 4 25 bip reductions at the next 4 MPC meets. So by June, September next year, we should be at 7% repo rate. But I suppose the question as to why is it taking so long, and what's causing the delay in the reduction in rates is obviously it's all interconnected, as we know. We wait for the US and we wait to see what the US does from its rate cutting cycle. And the US has started to cut. They cut 50 bips the day before we did in September, and it looks like they're going to cut another 50 now, another 25, apologies, in November. Europe and the Bank of England look like they're going to be cutting 25 as well. So this is all bodes well, I suppose, for us. And our view is that, with inflation coming off, we're back within the range, the target range. So I think the forecast of getting to 7% repo rate is good. It's not the lowest it's ever been. It could be lower. I think it would be better for the property industry to be lower. But base case at the moment is at 7%. Are you willing to take any bets on that, Johan?
They say prediction is difficult, especially if it's about the future. So no, I won't take a stab. But I think, I think the hope is that we'll come down to at least to pre-COVID levels. When I say people find that normal, which again, both it's a good industry thing, investors.
And obviously, apologies for interrupting, but obviously, there's the unknowns, right? In terms of what's happening internationally. So Chinese stimulus packages that are going on, the instability in the Middle East. So there's always the potential for a blowout in the wrong direction. But all signals are kind of pointing positive at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I talk politics, but the GNU is kind of the foundation for hopefully a more investable country. And there will be still major challenges challenging the GNU, but we hope that I think all of them around the table believe that they need each other, or the country need them to stick it out, even in difficult conversations. So let's hope that the guys at the top can keep it together. Vaughan, so I can announce today that our WeconnectU rental asset management have officially integrated with FNB. We've been on the pilot project for quite a while. We have quite a few clients already live on the integration, but officially today announcing it to the market for the first time. It's been a long journey with FNB to really develop something unique. But maybe I can ask you, from an FNB perspective, why the key focus on property and specifically property management?
Yeah, thanks, Johan. Firstly, I suppose property is core to everything that runs the country. It is part and parcel of any commercial business or residential play. It is core to the base of the country and people as a whole. From a GDP perspective, real estate activities make up a healthy portion of 67% of GDP and gross value add in the country. And this is forecast to grow as a percentage share of GVA up to about 8%. So as the property industry continues to expand and become stronger and develop, it makes up a larger portion of gross value add in the country. So we would be remiss as a bank to not want to focus on the property sector. And we certainly see upside in being able to participate in the property sector. the other part to this is obviously the trend and the trends in property within the country are super important. So some of the type of stuff that I've seen, just as an example, in Stellenbosch, freehold homes inside an estate commanded 35% more, or more expensive, 35% more expensive than freehold homes outside of an estate, as an example. And this differs across the country, but the concept of estate living or estates for commercial businesses, etc., is becoming more and more prevalent, and naturally, this relies on property practitioners across the country to be involved. So we are certainly bullish on this sector. We want to participate, and we feel like we can add some value. Johan, just to answer your last question, we always go in FirstRand. We always go back to this piece of where we started. FirstRand or RMB, FNB was started by 3 entrepreneurs, and so entrepreneurship as a principle is very important to FNB as a bank. We want to back entrepreneurs. We want to be involved in the entrepreneurship part of this country, and the property sector is largely dominated by entrepreneurs. So it is ultimately these small businesses and SME businesses that will contribute to GDP growth in the future and contribute to the growth in GDP that we so need. So we definitely want to back it and be part of this property sector growth.
Now, the question always is, so what new value will the bank bring? So, Vaughan, there's today we've got the Absa integration, and we are proud to announce the integration with FNB. But yeah, clients always like to know what's a new value. What will FNB bring us different?
Johan, thanks. It's first of all, it's great to be able to share the stage with you. I think I suppose the first part for FNB is that we need to do banking well. That's part one, and we strive to do that on a day-to-day basis. But there's large parts of the property sector that are far from our expertise and capability. So it's super important for us to consider strategic partners and partnerships with innovative players that are part and parcel of the industry that are intent on disrupting the industry and making it easier for the participants to make more business, easier business, and more profitable business. So, working together with WeconnectU has been super important for us in terms of this partnership to be able to make life easier for property practitioners across the country. And largely, this is part and parcel of what we're here to do.
Also, maybe I can maybe just share a journey. So we've been working with FNB for quite a while. Initially, quite a few months, just strategically, to bring them on board and what unique value proposition we can build together. And I think the realization is, especially with a bank integrated solution, a big part of your value or a big part of your efficiencies doesn't lie within just WeconnectU, but it lies with the partners we interact with. And how we interact to have the sole focus of creating value together. So with that, I can say it's been an incredible journey with FNB, building that unique value and to really be customer focused. I think that's quite a big part, especially for a big business like yourself, to be still customer focused. One can quite easily be internally focused as you get big, but I can just say the journey with FNB has been fantastic to really focus on the customer and what value we can build together for the customer. So I can say that, ladies and gentlemen, we've done some really good work. It's a beautiful integration, and the value proposition is quite unique. So we look forward to working closely with FNB going forward and helping to shape the market together, as Schalk said. Vaughan, thank you for joining me. Maybe some last parting comments from your side.
Yeah, I suppose what's important for us is probably the most important comment for us is just that the FNB is one of our core values, or what we hold dear now in how we conduct ourselves as a bank is the concept of ethics and integrity. So obviously, when going into partnership with businesses out there, it's very important for us to choose partners with similar values, which we've found in the WeconnectU family, and we're excited to do. It's been great working together with the WeconnectU team up until now, and look forward to the partnership going forward. So thanks to you guys.
Vaughan, thank you so much. Brilliant. That will then end of I want to say actually end of John's rental asset management session completely. John, thank you for allowing me to come here at the end, and well done on the way, how easily you've solved Skalk's challenges. So well done on you to you and the team behind you. And Vaughan, thank you for joining us.